Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So guys, at a time when I'm recording this video, it's like the new moon which gets celebrated as the birth anniversary. This specific new moon of the year is also celebrated as the birth anniversary of the Shani Dev, of the Lord Saturn. So guys, initially I was thinking about making a video on a topic like the way you know me. I kind of always give something whatever the theme, cosmos or universe has generated. But then I realized that okay, it's good to make a happy person happier, but it's no good to make already a stressed person more stressed. So I thought in this video, honoring the planet Saturn, we will have our discussion on the D-10 chart called as the Dasamsa chart. But in the D-10 chart, we will have our discussion on the planet Jupiter. So in a way, D-10 chart is connected with the planet Saturn. It's the Shani Jayanti. We are honoring the Shani Devata. And over and above that, the fortune aspect within your Karam Bhav, within your career, that is the area which we will explore in this video. Now guys, you have to understand, because see, here I'm not talking about that what you are doing in your life right now, over where, how the placement of Jupiter in different houses in the D-10 chart is going to be impacting you, influencing you. Guys, see, a lot of my clients, like who after watching all these core subjects, when they book their consultation, they start talking about, hey, this planet is placed in this divisional chart in this house. So again guys, whatever is happening in our life right now in terms of the things which you can experience, which you can see as a tangible form in your daily life's undertaking, that area is always assessed, and you always see those characteristics and signs from the ascendant chart. When we get deeper into these kind of divisional chart, they just give us the answer of the subtle vibration of the planetary energy. Now guys, I can give you from this discussion point of view, I can give you so many of the reference examples, like the way, for example, this guy recently in British Columbia, in Vancouver where I live, there is this Filipino guy. He won, I guess, biggest jackpot in the Canadian history. I guess it was like 80 million. He won that much amount. So what do you feel? Isn't there a luck which remains over there? You have to take the case of the Elon Musk as well. The guy who has done very good in whatsoever business he touched his hand, it actually became like a gold mine. But imagine, politics did not work out for him. Like the way he was like being there with Donald Trump while facing media in all the public appearance of Donald Trump. Now just because people were not happy, they even started burning the Tesla cars. Now he's nowhere around in, like, at least not in the White House or Oval House. So I mean to say, the fortune or the luck part in his career, in his life, did not actually help him when it comes down to the politics. Along with that guys, there have been those cases like even in India, like father on his own, he built a successful business. He actually like employed like almost like 3 or 4 manufacturing unit or factories. But after that, like children, they kept on fighting about the custody, about the will, about the inheritance. So half of the factories have been sealed by the government and the rest got shut down because there was no order, there was no revenue, there was no money, no capital over there. So that is what I'm trying over here, that the impact of the Jupiter in the D-10 chart needs to be studied in this way, that to what extent luck is supporting you in your professional endeavors. Again guys, like when we take the case of all these kind of people whom we have seen in the past couple of decades only building so much of the big empire in a regular person's life, in a human's capacity, there is a limit to which beyond you cannot go. And the answer to that how come that person in one lifetime was able to build so many things, was able to do so many things, for that you have to see the placement of the Jupiter in the D-10 chart. Along with that, all those kind of people in whose case like there is a generational wealth which goes on in the family, even in those cases you have to see the placement of the Jupiter in the D10 chart. Guys, why to go very far? We are in a field of astrology. Even in like southern part of India, there have been those kind of families over where they still do not reveal their secrets of the calculation, of the art of the fortune telling. So they still keep it secret within their own family only. So like if someone actually has to learn, like this could be palmistry, this could be astrology, so they actually have to travel, live in their gurukul, live with them in their ashram, and from that guru shishya parampara they have to gain that knowledge. So that is what the power of the Jupiter is, and that is what you have to see in the D10 chart. And over and above that, guys, like all those kind of people who are able to like make use of their, this could be their career, this could be their status, the kind of money which they make in their life, they are able to make use of that for some religious purposes as well, for some kind of humanitarian acts as well. For that as well, you have to see the Jupiter's placement in the D10 chart. Is it like your nature of work or line of work is going to be something like where you will be bringing the chaos, sorrows and pain to the world, or through your acts, through your karma, you're actually giving guidance, wisdom and kind of solace to the people? So even for that, we have to see the placement of the Jupiter in the D10 chart. Now again, guys, I want to make it very clear. Based on Jupiter's placement in the D10 chart, you cannot come to this conclusion that this is the line of work where I have to be based, or this is over where like money will come, opportunities will come to me. One thing is for sure, which I can say over here, that Jupiter's placement in the D10 chart, one information which you will get for sure is that in which specific area of your life, luck, generosity or divine grace, blessing and grace is helping you in your life. That's all what I can say. Again, guys, in my case as well, I came to Canada, and like throughout in my lifetime, I have like shuffled into multiple ventures, but somehow whether I take up my D9 chart, my D10 chart, my ascendant chart, everything is so heavily concentrated to the 8th house that my life keep on bringing me back to the astrology only. Imagine I did a film course. I went to many uncountable auditions. I just booked one Hallmark movie role. And you know what was the role? I was a Vedic astrologer in that movie. So that is what you have to understand, that Jupiter's placement in the D10 chart, studying it becomes very important. Guys, like the way people say that Saturn can give you wealth, Saturn can give you status, and people who build big empires. See, but eventually at the end, Saturn is a planet of the hardship. So I mean to say, looking at Saturn's placement in the 10th house will give you answer to that, to what level you can scale up in your life. But over and above that, it is still going to be attached with the struggle, with the hardship as well. But when it comes down to the planet Jupiter, things can be attained with a lot of ease and grace. So okay guys, now we will like just briefly look at that how Jupiter's placement in the different houses in the D10 chart, what kind of information it gives us. So if your Jupiter is going to be placed in the first house of your D10 chart, so guys, this is generally considered as a good placement, like the way, for example, divinity or divine grace somehow colors up or shapes up your karma, your actions, your professional endeavors, and nothing could be better than that. If you're kind of person who's very ritualistic, like this could be a case that like you believe in helping people through your acts, you follow the proper omens like shakuns, the muhurat, before undertaking any professional task, important professional decision. So it is definitely going to help you. So overall, it could be a case that in majority of your professional endeavors, luck will play a very significant role. Right set of people will keep on coming to you, and you might be in the right place at the right time, and that will be responsible for your growth, for your success. Now guys, if your Jupiter is going to be placed in the second house of the D10 chart, so one thing is for sure, that as much as it is possible, refrain from lying in your line of work. The more you can follow ethics, staying charitable, being very generous with your wealth, especially in order to help the downtrodden, will add more values to your professional endeavors as well. And again guys, when we talk about like the way I mentioned this thing, that people who are able to have that and people who are able to maintain that generational wealth, so regarding that front, Jupiter's placement in the D-10 chart is considered as a good sign. If your Jupiter is going to be placed in the 3rd house of the D-10 chart, so guys, like the way we say that although this is kind of a Manda Karaka Avastha for the planet Jupiter, but somehow because Jupiter is like a preacher who likes to give discourse or guide and advise and give the right sort of counsel to the people. So when we talk about the prime houses of the guidance, so 5th house beyond any doubt, 9th house, to an extent 3rd house also plays a very significant role. So if I were to say your majority of the professional endeavors in their life will be divine ordained, that can be said. If your Jupiter is going to be placed in the 4th house of your D-10 chart, so now guys, again, like the way I mentioned this thing, like people who are able to be very safe and secured in their line of work, people who are able to carve a niche for themselves, and anything to do with the doing something in the public domain. And again guys, when we talk about planets like Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, Moon, see, these are very likable planets. They actually make you very likable. So if you're actually doing something in the public domain and your Jupiter is going to be placed in the 4th house of the D-10 chart, so this could be seen as a good placement in a way of that you will be able to build many things in your life. Based on your professional endeavors. Luck will support you. Blessing and grace will play a very significant role. Now guys, if let's say for example Jupiter is going to be placed in the 5th house of your D-10 chart. So now guys, 5th house actually act as a intelligence of your professional endeavors, the kind of mind and intelligence you put in your professional endeavors. So I mean to say Jupiter's placement over here, like any connection of the Jupiter with the trine house is always seen as a blessing, is always seen as a very graceful kind of placement. So it will actually give you bountiful of the opportunities. You will, like, you might have this capacity that because of the support of the luck in your professional sphere, you might have many kind of, you know, many copyrights and many things, subsidiary companies you have built, or you might be a very successful entrepreneur. So regarding that, this is generally considered as a very good placement. Like you might have a license for which you have like kind of a monopoly in the life, and again over there as well, like the blessing and the grace and the heavenly celestial entities have played a significant role for bringing those right opportunity for you. Now guys, when we talk about Jupiter being placed in the 6th house of your like D-10 chart, so now guys, this is generally considered as good in this way that for any of the hardship which will come in the professional sphere, blessing and grace will help you. And again guys, let's say for example, with this kind of placement, like there is one lawyer in India, I'm forgetting his name, he's like some Vishnu Jain and something. So for one of the Gyan Peeth, one of the Lord Shiva temple, so he has been a very strong advocate for that. So I mean to say, if you take your job as your religious duty, you like even if you are working as a lawyer and you actually take your job very seriously, you are a doctor, so you are not doing that just for the sake of like it's your profession, you do not have that kind of obligation and accountability, and you don't own up to that. So I mean to say, again, now obviously, like if you live in the western part of the world, it might be different from some third world country and all, but what I'm trying to say that if your Jupiter is going to be placed in the 6th house of the D-10 chart, in majority of your competitive situation in your career, in majority of the hardship, blessing and grace will play a very significant role. Again guys, like so many of the examples, like in the politics as well, who switch one political party to another political party, and in the next election that party wins. So somehow luck obviously plays a very significant role. Now guys, if Jupiter is going to be placed in the 7th house of your D-10 chart, so guys, one thing is for sure that all sort of commitment, partnership, always take that very seriously. Like the way we say that if you're like Saturn, Rahu, these malefic planets, especially Saturn is placed in the second house. Never ever give the false testimony in the court against someone. Saturn will destroy you. It will destroy your wealth. Same is the way if Jupiter is going to be placed in the seventh house, treat your partner very respectfully. This could be your spouse, or this could be the kind of business partners you are going to be involved with. So following the proper ethics, moral code will become very important, and life will actually keep on bringing right set of people, opportunities to you for your success, for your growth. Now guys, if your Jupiter is going to be placed in the 8th house in the D10 chart, so again guys, let's say for example if you are actually invested in some sort of research. So again guys, like for example, like I've been checking this update in the news. One of the BC family, I live in British Columbia. In the British Columbia, one of the family who has been people who do the research for the fossils and all. So after 40 years, their family discovered something. So that is what I'm trying to say, that for the researchers and all, staying lucky and fortunate becomes very important. See, these are the kind of nature of work in certain professions where it's not like a salary job. And what you are researching for, there is no assured sign that you will end up discovering something, getting a proper remuneration or getting a proper value of all of your time, energy spent on that. But if your Jupiter is going to be placed in the 8th house and you are an occultist, you are a researcher, explorer and all, so this is a good placement. You will be able to bring out, and because of the support of the blessing and grace, you will be able to find and discover something which will actually bring a lot of light to the things which have been hidden, and it will benefit the humanity and all. Your path might be slightly kind of bit taboo, but taboo breaking and all, but it is still going to benefit the humanity, and you will reveal the secrets to the world. Now guys, let's say for example if your Jupiter is placed in the 9th house of the D10 chart, so beyond any doubt guys, it is generally considered as a very good placement. It's just like that in majority of your professional endeavors, you will be well guided, mentored by the people. Like the way guys, I'm telling you honestly, when I came to Canada, I just came with 2 luggages, and no one from my whole family, from my father's side or mother's side, have ever migrated outside of the country. So I know that, let's say for example, even when I came here, if there would have been right people to guide me, like the way it happens in certain communities, so how my life would have turned around. So you might not even realize the value of that, but somehow luck plays a very significant role, and Jupiter is a planet which can give us things with ease and grace. And in the 9th house, so guidance, mentorship. So many people say this thing, that in their professional sphere, for their success, more than their own hard work, it's the support which they got from the bosses at the right stage in their career plays a very significant role or a deciding factor. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So for professional opportunities, right set of guidance, mentorship, following ethics, and seen as and being able to get that respect in your line of work, it's a good placement. Now guys, if your Jupiter is going to be placed in the 10th house, so beyond any doubt guys, 10th house is in the D10 chart, it becomes like a Karaka house for the D10 chart. So that means in your professional undertakings, so finance, advice, counsel, guidance will play a very significant role. And generally we say that for majority of the professional opportunities and the way your career will shape up, so over there as well, guidance and blessing and grace will play a very significant role. Now guys, if your Jupiter is going to be placed in the 11th house of the D10 chart, so beyond any doubt guys, when we talk about something to do with the kind of opportunities which you will get to scale up in your life for the expansion point of view, this is considered as a very good placement. Like people who start very small and they end up expanding their business to different cities, even different countries, and they grow in their life in terms of their professional reach. So Jupiter's placement in the 11th house could be responsible for that. And lastly guys, when we talk about Jupiter being placed in the 12th house of the D10 chart, so guys, the only one advice which I want to give over here is that be as philanthropic, humanitarian, and no matter how much money you are making, how much of that you are contributing for the social service, community work, voluntary work, so all of that will play a very significant role. Somehow there could be a possibility that foreign land or the foreigners or overseas lands might play a significant role in the fortune in your career. This could be a case that in your home country you're not able to find that much kind of success, but the minute you migrated to a foreign land, somehow so many of the opportunities started coming to you. So this could be one such combination if Jupiter is going to be placed in the 12th house of your D10 chart. So guys, I'm sure you would have understood the gist or the crux of this discussion. Don't be with this mindset and do not extract this out of this discussion that you have to plan your career and you will see the actual physical result in the area of your professional life where Jupiter is going to be placed in the D10 chart. It is that deeper, subtle vibration which is working behind the scene that we get to know from the D10 chart, and it's not about the Saturn, which has to do with shaping up your career, your life, with hammering you with hardship. Jupiter with ease and grace. All what Jupiter expects from you is just protect your dharma and like just inculcate good values, virtues, keep your character pure, your actions pure, and blessing and divine grace will choose you for something big. That's all what I wanted to say. So yeah guys, for further more updates and notification, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that's all. Thank you.